but you promise to be of service to the circle of the ohana of sovereigns, to protect yourself and each other from unlawful claims. Real basic. Okay. Ua mau ke ea oka aina I kapono, and that really means to be forever free in the land of righteousness. From the beginning as Keakua, God, the truth, is our witness. We, the true living flesh and blood people of Creator, God, acknowledge and embrace all gifts given by Yahweh, God. Repent all transgressions against Keakua and waive all claims without universal law or God. So I'm using universal law, Creator, Yahweh, Keakua interchangeably, and they all stand for the truth. Whereas both the United States of America 1776 and the Kingdom of the Hawaiian Islands 1839 are both founded upon Keakua, Yahweh, God's universal law, otherwise known as common or natural law. Unity in the law equals unity in the people. And I point that out, it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's good to remember that because America 1776 and Hawaiian Kingdom 1839 both founded on God's natural common law. Natural law is not written by man. Natural law is self-evident. Natural law governs the consequences of human behavior. Okay, so natural law, Hawaii vow. It's like a promise. I, and then your name, a true living flesh and blood, man or woman, being of sound mind and body, am qualified and competent to take the following vow as a Hawaii natural common law community member and jurist. Let's just say, I'm in. Here I am, I'm real, I'm in. Okay. I vow to Keakua, God, the Creator, Governor of the universe, that I will, as a Hawaii common natural law community member, promise to hold myself and all my relations, including all representatives of the U.S. Federal Corporation, to uphold and live by the holy natural common law. Note that American Declaration of Independence 1776 and Hawaii Declaration of Rights 1839 based on God's common natural law. These are the three principles of natural law adjudication. Very simple. Keola knows this. Be truthful. Do no harm. Honor your word. This is the basis and all we need to know and examine when we examine evidence to come to conclusions, to analyze and adjudicate matters set before us. I also make myself fully available to serve our beloved community as a common natural law jurist, to seek truth and deliberate faithfully under God's natural law, principled with justice, honor, and mercy, and to strictly adhere to the following two legal maxims. 1, every unalienable God-given right, when withheld, must have a remedy, and every injury is proper redress. And 2, to the absence of a victim, there can be no crime. Corpus delicti. And by the way, the state cannot be a victim. Okay, that's it. You basically, if you agree with that, you sign your autograph, otherwise known as a signature. You have 3 witnesses, okay? We could do that tonight. I think that would save time and energy since we have enough people, if you want. And then you put your name, address, phone number, and email, some way to contact you. We are building our list. I have a list of 14 people already, so we're just going to add to it. Any questions? I have pens also.
The passport application, once you're on the outside and you're free, and then signing this, you're not in conflict.
We are not in conflict.
Right, but we are in conflict as long as we have a driver's license, or a social security card,
Okay.
or
Your autograph.
any evidence. And so when we get that on the outside, because what I'm doing is I'm sending my passport application to the Secretary of State, and basically saying, here, this is all of my information.
Yes.
I have not committed any perjury or
Correct. It
lying
is a
on
true
it.
status.
Right. And so
after.
you find out what
Yes.
my address is.
Perfect.
And then when we come back, then we have 12, and then we have a jurisdiction of assembly, which is outside of the jurisdiction of society, which is the government.
Okay.
And then we have the 12 jurors. And then we have our county, with the sheriff, we can do anything.
Okay.
We can take back this island, because there is none, there has not been, since 1947, a sheriff here. It's always been in Honolulu.
Okay.
And I know that they're jumping jurisdictions right now.
Yes, they are.
Taking houses, and I'm like, well,
Okay.
but that's the only thing I can see here. I mean, yes, I agree with this.
Okay, thank you.
I want to be outside first. You know what I'm saying? Have my passport already accepted.
Okay, so I want to be clear what you just said, and it's also helpful for the camera. You're saying you agree with the principles here, but you want to hold off of signing this because of what?
The passport application. Once I file the passport application with the Secretary of State and he establishes my citizenship, because I basically am saying I'm not part of
your corporate government, okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to play this game anymore.
Correct.
I know what it's like, and it's not working for me.
Okay.
So, and once I'm on the outside, and then I won't have any conflict.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
actually, in my view, you don't have any conflict right now
Okay.
because we say, as true people, men and women of Keakoa God, that we waive all claims without the truth. So when they took the straw man name, they stole your name and created the straw man account. It wasn't full disclosure. It's stealing and a crime, right?
Right.
So the claim of having jurisdiction anyway over you is actually null and void.
Right.
So I totally understand. I respect it. You don't have to sign, but I'm glad to hear you don't see any lawful issues that are announced here as a community member and jurist.
Perfectly fine, yeah.
I wanted to keep it very simple. Okay, and looks like Pam has already got, Pam just needs 2 more witnesses. I'll be one. Let me grab it. I'll be one. Thank you very much. Nah. Yeah, you know, we just want to, really, this is just a database.
Right.
So that when things come up, that we can be called and we can come together. For example, our friend Ankh had a brand new baby.
Oh.
And the hospital wants to put shots in the baby. And he says, no, I don't want no shots. I just have a few questions and you can stop at my question. Oh no, Mr. Ankh, you have a this and this that you must do. And he says, oh no. And they said, oh yes. And then the police were called and CPS is like knocking on the door to come in. And so Ankh was supposed to be here. He might have had transportation issues.
How did she end up giving birth at the hospital?
Well, I didn't ask that question.
Doesn't seem like that was planned.
What was planned?
Hospital birth.
I don't know how that happened. All I know is that they wanted to resist, getting all that procedure done to their newborn.
Yeah.
Amhara is her name. They have certainly, like Keola, they have not signed the baby over to the federal corporation, but he is, especially his wife, very, concerned and kind of worried. And I say, so, our talking about natural law remedy has got to go beyond talking, brother, as you can see. So he got his kick in the okole, just like we all are. And we are finding ourselves, coming together. And I'm so glad that, Akamai, good people, sovereign people, are coming together. And then, really, just over the phone, Sarah said, okay, we'll start in the first week of June. And so Puna's going to probably grow faster than anybody else. Really
There's a lot of people over there.
Okay,
Yes.
well, all of you are invited to come to Puna, to the Pahoa Village Museum, June 5th, which is Monday. And I'll remind you about that. So, you know, your experience, your heart, knowledge, your energies are always welcome there, but I think it's going to ramp up pretty fast over there. Okay, so witness autograph. Print my name. 6 to 8 o'clock. Same thing.
It's just I'd rather,
Okay.
I want to be on the outside.
Okay, no problem. Today is the 19th? 18th.
We got a couple weeks to go. June 5th.
Okay. Yes, we do. Okay, now, we need one more witness for Pam, and then Pam, right here, you just print out your contact information. Okay.
Don't touch the passport application. You bring your birth certificate,
Yes.
an affidavit of I quit, I don't want to play, whatever.
I don't
We're
want
talking
to
about we're not getting a U.S. passport, we're getting you guys.
A sovereign
a
international.
Yes.
Where are we going with the passport?
Anywhere you want.
Anywhere you
It's
want.
a passport of travel.
And you don't get traffic tickets, you don't get
It's
any of
called
that
diplomatic immunity.
stuff.
Is that right?
Yes. And see, it's because when you get your birth certificate authenticated, that's all the Secretary of State sees is your birth certificate. But if you do the passport application, you can attach
You be my
up to
witness
85 pages
Are
of
we all
attachments.
willing to move away?
Why do I have to do
You
that?
don't have
We
to.
have to move away. Just
No,
on the passport is a different-
You can be here. You just don't have to recognize the state.
Yes, that's the whole
Just don't
point.
What
recognize
about
the
the
state.
driver's license business?
That
All-
is
all-
part of
that's
Be a
all part-
They
non-participant.
took my driver's license and they haven't.
Well, you don't need one,
tickets.
lawfully.
They weren't DUIs or anything.
But do people pay you to drive them around?
Once you get the passport back, we send all those tickets to the Secretary, I'm sorry, to the Treasury Department, and they'll pay them.
Yeah, all that stuff is.
Yeah, that's all a moot point after that.
I love you too, and I'm willing to help everybody who doesn't want to
I
help.
love it. I was even thinking about including some of
Please, a
the
pen.
FCC radio pages in my passport stuff, like some
You
of
guys
the
need
flyers. Because you can send them 85
Yeah, film them.
pages of attachments.
Eh,
I'm probably going to send them 85 pages.
Cool. Okay,
Everything.
okay, all right.
I'm
And
going to
this,
send them the
What's yours and mine?
you
this
know,
is Ashley? Who's
trespass
this?
stuff.
That one is Ashley, yeah.
This is Ashley?
Okay.
Okay, actually, you know, you gotta put,
Okay.
put your contact in, and you can do that later. We don't have to do, you know, we can finish that
I
out.
can do it real quick.
Okay, you got a pen?
Yeah. I just put my mailing address.
What?
The back page, it says your name, address, and so that
Your
actually
contact.
Right.
goes to the person.
Right,
that's
exactly,
at
yeah, yeah. Your name being the person that is
I have it.
declaring their natural law community membership. It's not citizenship. We don't have this as your government.
Right, right.
But it is, you are a member of the Ohana. And, yes, ma'am. Pen? I have pens. Thank you so much. Man, see how easy that is? It's like one class and you're graduated already. It's that easy. There you
Well,
go.
that's not fine, and I'll give it back to you.
Okay, and so I'm glad we can get this video to Terry and she's gonna be excited. Okay, this one is Sandra Smart. You gonna do it? What the heck, right?
I'll figure it out, because either way,
Well-
it's not going anywhere towards them.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get anywhere near.
Yeah, yeah. Well, once again, it is beyond time because you're waiving all false claims right out of the gate. So
And
it's good.
Nice big fence.
And I'm already a scribe. I don't know if that's something that's going to be elected. Like, I'm not.
You're not gonna do it right.
That's fine. That's fine. Can you? Tom,
You know what?
another ex-police officer. How are you? Good. Okay. The boys left. Okay, everybody, this is Tom Frattinato.
Yes,
Correct?
thank you.
Okay. Tom, just so you know, I mentioned this over the phone when we talked, that people have awakened to who they are and remembrance who they are, where they are, and that we have natural common law rights and responsibilities, yeah. And so we're basically convening, doing a quick check-in on, well, what is common law rights? What is common law adjudication? People get up to speed on that pretty quickly because common law is common sense. We know that both political venues, America 1776, Hawaiian Kingdom 1839, based on the unwritten self-evident law of Keokua God. And that is common law. So we are the highest judicial body in the land, and we're not corporate fictions, and we're not beholden to corporate fictions. We rebuke corporate fiction reality. So that's what we are doing, and we have a very simple, and you can read it later, you don't have to do it right now. We have a very simple natural law community membership, which also promises, it's not a contract, but it's a promise, it's a vow, that when the community needs you to protect ourselves against false claims, that you will be there to adjudicate and to deliberate upon facts and evidence that are presented by those with claims. I have a friend who has a brand new baby, and now the doctor is on the verge of doing harm by picking up the phone and calling CPS, who will be also on the verge of doing harm by taking his baby because he don't want any vaccinations. Okay, so we're looking at it as a point of education, not like we're going to war with you guys. It's like, what is the difference between corporate law, lawfulness, color of law, and God's law? There's people don't know that law takes on different forms, and that it's important if we want remedy that we know and demand what venue of law we're in. And so that's what's happening. And you have any thoughts about that?
Well, this is all happening. I got involved with the radio station and sort of board director for the radio station, and was involved with the campaign with
You're talking about the Christian radio station?
But then I get involved with Wally Lau's campaign. So all this stuff's been happening over the last 18 months. Now people are asking me, I had a conversation with you. So all this stuff is happening. People are asking me to run for office again.
Correct.
So I need to really, through Kevin, I know about
Pastor Kevin, you're talking.
Yeah, and common law, and just,
Okay.
and really, when you see that flag, don't tread on me. That's what I think about whenever I hear about common law. Don't tread on me.
Correct.
What mine is not yours, right? It's like I don't.
Unless I contract away.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So just because I live here doesn't mean that you can just take. I mean, like the taxes that Harry Kimpton starts signing us with. We're trying to do.
Well, if people don't stand up and demand, common law justice, then corporate law tyranny is the rule of the day. And so,
if you pay them, you're part of the problem, basically.
if you keep paying them, if you keep talking to them, even, if you keep playing it into that paradigm. I'll cut right to the chase regarding you running for office. The only way I could support you running for office, if you, like myself, run as a natural law Hawaiian.
Well, I'm not coming here as a candidate. I'm just coming here I just got to get more informed.
Okay, well, I'm not assuming that you are, but I know you were thinking about it,
Yeah.
and I think it's great that you want to serve. But I say this not because I don't love and respect you.
Sure.
I say this because if you don't enter into that process and self-declare yourself as a sovereign, coming into the process out of duress, you're under duress, but you're here. I used it under duress to educate people and hold people accountable to the law. And when I asked Harry Kim, maybe you were there, that Harry and Wally, and I said, okay, somebody have proof and evidence that the state of Hawaii is actually lawful in Hawaii, and everybody sat there and go, oh, right, we can't answer that, obviously. So that's my view about engaging in the political process. But we need all the help we can get.
Well, and I think so many people right now, they're under pressure, and they don't know where to go. And I think this is
And they don't know what's gonna be there when they get there.
Yeah, and but they don't, because who are they gonna trust? Right, I mean, but they have to trust themselves.
And their relationship with the
God,
Creator.
right,
Amen.
exactly, yeah,
Yes.
so I mean, so.
Yes. And so I know these are the days that people have to make tough choices.
Because, you know, our state is a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, I want to find out more about this thing with Aunt because.
With Ankh and the
well,
baby.
see, I wonder how did they get out of the hospital without a birth certificate?
They have not asked him to contract for the birth certificate to, apply for Social Security Administration. That has not occurred.
No, not
yet.
Social Security. I'm talking about the birth certificate.
Well, it's the same. It's the same process
When
when
the
you
birth certificate,
when you apply.
the Social Security, most of the time, they pretty much force folks these days, from what I heard, signing the birth certificate at the hospital. Then afterwards, you go get Social Security number.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know if they've actually taken the baby out of the hospital yet.
That probably hasn't happened because what it is if they don't sign it, they cannot take that child. They can try and mess with the parents. Okay, they might try and mess with Unc and Beth, but CPS. This is what I learned. CPS has to have a copy of that birth certificate
Before the
within
baby.
48 hours. Of course, they're not supposed to take the child at all. It's just completely. I'm starting to get hot. But they're only supposed to take the birth certificate itself, the piece of paper. That's all they have, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So, but when they do this kidnapping, they have to have that document within 48 hours. So that's probably why
Well, they
we need
can't-
to talk
they
to Unc
can't-
about this because
Well, he was supposed to show up.
they might still try and mess with Uncle Beth,
they
but
can't
they
take that.
can't take that child.
Well, they can't take that child without getting a police officer involved.
Well, a police officer was
would-
actually called.
So they would have to do, what the police officer would have to do is you would have to make a protective custody case. So like we used to have,
Okay.
so these people in Waimea, the school and CPS were always trying to force us
Yeah.
to be their agent
Oh.
to make these, we're CPS, and they would say, there's an allegation of abuse, let's say, okay?
Right.
And they'll immediately say, okay, we want you to do a protective custody. I say, no, there's a process.
Thank you.
There's due process.
Well, if they haven't contracted that child,
They have not contracted the child.
then the state better be careful because they can sue them for everything.
Oh.
Because CPS is a quasi-government
Well,
agency
you-
anyway. They can be sued. They don't even
yeah,
they don't have to be
sure.
outside their
Oh,
their
I've seen you get
capacity.
sued. I had to
They're
go testify.
completely illegal, unlawful, everything anyway. But
Well, kidnapping is
you know,
kidnapping.
yeah.
So.
but that's from what I know. That is the law that they have to get a hold of that birth certificate or otherwise I don't know what they're
It's
going to do with that.
it's the
child.
policy, operating under color of law.
Man, that's so scary that they might still be over there. Yeah, it must have just happened. Because I
Yeah.
talked to him a couple days ago, and I was like,
Yeah, it just happened. He called me today, so we'll call him later and we'll find out. But he's going to be super grateful because we, the people, self-identifying in our awakened state and our remembrance, come together in this very early stage in a body politic of common law sovereigns. And we're going to defend each other in lawfulness, peacefully, but it's time. And Ankh really is feeling the heat right now, obviously. So, question, what's that?
No, I think she probably did. I know she had a home birth last time. That's why I thought maybe it was like some complications or something.
Oh, maybe.
Because,
I don't think it was
You're in
intentional.
federal jurisdiction the minute you walk
Oh,
in
yeah, I
the
know.
hospital doors.
Yeah.
Well,
It could have been
under
something
duress,
emergency.
under duress, and once again, we have to interact with, the corporate agents as a point of humanity, as a point of education. We're lucky we're in Hawaii, that we don't have such mindless,
Oh yeah, midwives are illegal all over the nation.
mindless policy.
They're illegal where I'm from.
Enforcers.
Yep.
This is good, and so that's why the FCC radio was created, so that it's a small but meaningful rebuking of false claim that the FCC has the right to permit free speech or not.
Right,
You know,
Yeah.
so we're doing that, and it's meaningful, and I think we're getting a lot of positive response from those that we talk to, even though our little low power FM unit after 3 weeks of it needs some repair in TLC right now, and luckily Ryan is going to do that hopefully tomorrow. But we are on 24/7, and we have been pretty steady on the shoutcast.com.
We're not just operating without FCC licensure. Gene served the FCC, the mayor's office, and the local commercial stations 21 days notice. None of them responded. And in addition to that, as a result of some of the in-depth conversations that we've had amongst the group of us who are helping with the radio project, we have decided to reach out to the artists that, whose music we intend to play, so that now all of the music that we are playing, we have obtained direct permission from the artists or their managers for.
We have
Oh, yeah.
251
recently,
songs.
That has included some pretty big names, like Mike Love, the Steppas, and Slightly Stupid, which are all pretty big name groups in the reggae music genre.
There's another one that they got today too.
So it's
Cali
very
Buds.
exciting.
Cali Buds?
Cali Buds, yeah. Yeah, and so, you know, it's cool because, you know, we're going to be appealing to the youth and educating them about natural law and what the significance of FCC free is as a great opportunity for true remedy and healing, you know. There's a church. Do you know Dan Kikawa?
Yes.
Okay, Dan Kikawa, right, has the intention to create a big hallelujah, a longhouse. But the 12 acres that he already has the plan and the programming, the protocol is all set. But now he feels he has to pay lawyers to position him as a 501c3. So I told his associate pastor, don't do that. You have title. Don't do that. You know, you have title. You're doing no harm. You're doing a service to the community. You simply serve them notice and invite them. Maybe they want to help. But don't go and surrender your unalienable rights. And so, thank you, Sandy. But Reverend Dan, he needs to be brought up to speed about some things that I think those that say that they love God and they preach, honor the covenant with God, that we must apply that truth and that walk in all areas of our life. We cannot pick and choose because of fear or because of tradition or anything. You know, we really have to hold ourselves and those that work for the corporation, you know, accountable. And so we're coming, you know, God's moving greatly in all of our lives right now.
There has to be a change.
What's that?
There needs to be a change.
Right. And, hey,
And God's, I mean,
there
he's-
you are, Tom.
I mean, there's, you know, it's sick. It's sickening. I feel so sorry for the people in Oahu. They're so oppressed. They're
Well,
so oppressed.
people don't remember who they are. They don't know that there's a difference in what body of law you're, you know, living in. And so once they get that, I think it's going to catch on naturally.
But they don't think they have any recourse. And they have, they're Americans, they live, you know, they're Americans.
Well, we've all been dumbed down, you know, but those days are over. And I just met Sandy today. This is Sandy Smart, and Sandy has some information that we all could benefit from in regards to creating a sovereign travel passport, international sovereign travel passport. And Sandy was also a police officer, correct?
Ventura County Sheriff's Deputy.
Ventura County. Okay. And so, you know, you both have, you know, law enforcement background. And it's really powerful and exciting to me that, you know, those that have served in that capacity would come and you know, and guide us and help us and be with this Ohana too. So thank you very
I'm
much.
recovering, okay, I'm a recovering cop, okay?
Ah.
I know the laws.
We're all recovering.
We're all recovering.
So yeah,
I'm a recovering unbeliever.
recovering unbelievable.
Yeah, your eyes. I'm not a dude. They try. I have my own mind,
Yes.
and I came out of an orphanage, so I had to survive. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, you came out of an orphanage.
yeah. So I was a ward of the state. You talk about being a piece of meat or feeling like you're a piece of meat. In the state of New Jersey, and it's one of the worst.
Well,
That is, I mean, that is like one of the worst oppressive.
well, Keokua's healing and loving hand
Yeah, it's awesome,
has
yeah.
been, you know, over you and in your life. I can see.
The military did me good, man. You know, I did 11 years in the Marine Corps and then met a Hawaiian gal.
Oh, okay.
And when I heard about, when I learned about the kingdom and how it was overthrown, I was like, man, it's horrible.
Right.
Just the truth, yeah. And it's like, it's just, it needs to be reinstated. And be,
Well, you know, Hawaiian Kingdom never ended. The government,
Right.
the governing
It's still there.
entity was, yeah, it's still there. So, but God's timing is perfect, you know. So,
but the occupation, right?
124 years. Yep, yep. Sandy, did you want to talk about how you got or how you're getting your international sovereign travel passport?
I'm just filling out a passport application, it's not a renewal, just a regular passport application.
Okay.
My birth certificate and an affidavit. An affidavit basically says I quit, and I'll apply. You guys do what you want, but not with me.
Okay, so you don't actually fill out the application.
No.
You got it.
Yes.
It's blank.
Yes.
And on the back side,
No.
on the front side,
You just lay it on top.
you laid on top of that your affidavit of true status.
Yes.
And now you say, here, you guys tell me what the process is so that I have, because I've separated myself from the corporation.
And about 85 pages.
What do you mean? Who's allowed?
85 pages. So you put in 85 pages, any receipt that you have. Every time I was arrested, all of those arrest form, everything is in that. I put my parents' trust in there.
And that's to identify you as
Yes,
you. Okay.
as
That
a
is-
trustee of whatever, that I'm not squandering this money. I'm not just saying, okay, fine, I'm gonna take this money and just go play. I have a job to do, that this was entrusted by my parents. So let me do my job. And I don't need a tax,
ID.
yes. Or
Okay.
anything that has to do-
Why is it necessary if you put in writing? Because I have a declaration of true status, handwritten, my thumbprint on it, and I'm basically saying, it'd be good for you to hear this, that from the beginning, as Keakoa, God is my witness, I, Gene of the family Tamashiro, embrace all gifts given by God, repent all transgressions against God, Keakoa, and waive all claims without Keakoa God, the truth. And that is the declaration of true status that Kurt Kallenbach impressed upon me. And I was under the impression that that is certainly enough to declare my true status.
They're basically saying you can write it on a piece of toilet paper or crayon.
Who's that?
Anybody who accepts it from the State Department,
Okay,
as long as it's under the application.
okay. And so did you stapled it on there?
No, you don't attach it, no.
Or you don't attach it?
No, you don't attach it.
You just put it on
You
and
don't sign it, you don't mark on it.
No,
because that
right.
is your,
you're showing that you're playing the
facing-
game.
Facing government property.
Okay.
So you just lay it on top and hand them the check.
Did you say on the bottom of your paper, on the bottom of your true status, your intention is to receive a international sovereign travel passport? Did you say that?
No, what I'm saying is, because it's my birth certificate is such a unique situation. I was put up for adoption at 6 weeks old. Well, while I was in the hospital, My mother was white and I came out. And so my father's name is on my birth certificate, but Mayra, do I look like a Mayra? No, I don't look like a Mayra. And so it's blank. So I don't even have a first name nor a middle name. I just have a last name. And I said, if my father is not listed on the birth certificate, I may be the child of the manor, of the Lord of the manor. So they can't put any, they can't attach him. They can't, what do I call it? To where they're putting, your name is attached to your father's name, that's attached to your father's name, so that they can constantly keep collecting income. They can't do it with me because my father never showed up.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is, here's the paperwork, you figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. I like that a lot. And so when do you find out the result of that action?
They should be back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that's why I said, this paperwork here, I was like, no, if I text, by 2 weeks,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and then I'll show everybody the passport and everything that has to do with it.
Have you ever seen a sovereign international passport?
I've seen it international, and I've seen,
Meaning a non-U.S. citizen?
Yes.
You have seen it?
yes.
Issued by who?
Actually, I have no idea, because it's blue with international passport on the front.
Okay.
Rodney Peabosh.
Who?
Rodney Peabosh.
Okay.
He has an international passport.
And he lives here? Oh, we look forward to meeting.
So
Question.
you
I don't know
don't
if you can answer.
specify
I'm wounded to
the
say
type of passport you're applying
better,
for.
They can do it,
so I don't pay taxes.
because they have no.
You're
So would that put me in a better position
to be free.
yeah.
You're free. You just need to declare it. We are born free,
Right.
and
I'm blessed. I mean, God
That's
definitely.
yeah, we are born free. And when my mom, as everybody's mom, signs us over to apply for a birth certificate, sign us over to the Social Security Administration, they do it under duress and without full disclosure. So whatever the corporation says that, no, we got you because your mom signed you over.
Because the card started, what, 1930 something? With the Social Security number. When did we start that?
I think 33,
33.
when they took the gold.
Yeah.
When Roosevelt confiscated the gold is when the Social Security Administration began.
You see, my wife was filing joint for about 3 years ago. When I was a ward of the state, my mom and dad had passed, so I was getting some social.
That's fine. That's fine. Can you? Tom!
You know what?
Another ex-police officer. How are you?
Good.
Okay.
Aloha.
The boys left. Okay, everybody. This is Tom Frattinato.
Yes,
Correct.
thank you.
Okay. Tom, just so you know, I mentioned this over the phone when we talked, that people have awakened to who they are and remembered who they are, where they are, and that we have natural common law rights and responsibilities. Yeah. And so we're basically convening, doing a quick check-in on, well, what is common law rights? What is common law adjudication? People get up to speed on that pretty quickly because common law is common sense. We know that both political venues, America 1776, Hawaiian Kingdom 1839, based on the unwritten self-evident law of Keakoa God. And that is common law. So we are the highest judicial body in the land, and we're not corporate fictions, and we're not beholden to corporate fictions. We rebuke corporate fiction reality. So that's what we are doing, and we have a very simple, and you can read it later, you don't have to do it right now. We have a very simple natural law community membership, which also promises, it's not a contract, but it's a promise, it's a vow, that when the community needs you to protect ourselves against false claims, that you will be there to adjudicate and to deliberate upon facts and evidence that are presented by those with claims. I have a friend who has a brand new baby, and now the doctor is on the verge of doing harm by picking up the phone and calling CPS, who will be also on the verge of doing harm by taking his baby because he don't want any vaccinations. Okay, so we're looking at it as a point of education, not like we're going to war with you guys. It's like, what is the difference between corporate law, lawfulness, color of law, and God's law? There's people don't know that law takes on different forms, and that it's important, if we want remedy, that we know and demand what venue of law we're in. And so that's what's happening. And you have any thoughts about that?
Well, this is all happening. I got involved with the radio station and sort of board director for the radio station, and was involved with the campaign with
You're talking about the Christian
the
radio
Christian
station?
station. But then I get involved with Wally Lau's campaign. So all this stuff's been happening over the last 18 months. Now people are asking me. I had a conversation with you. So all this stuff is happening. People are asking me to run for office again.
Correct.
So I need to really. Through Kevin, I know about
Pastor Kevin, you're talking.
Yeah, and common law, and just,
Okay.
and really, when you see that flag, don't tread on me. That's what I think about whenever I hear about common law. Don't tread on me.
Correct.
What mine is not yours, right? It's like, I don't.
Unless I contract away.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So just because I live here doesn't mean that you can just take. I mean, like the taxes that Harry Kimson starts signing us with, if we're trying to.
Well, if people don't stand up and demand, common law justice, then corporate law tyranny is the rule of the day. And
If
so,
you pay them, you're part of the problem, basically.
if you keep paying them, if you keep talking to them, even, if you keep playing into that paradigm. I'll cut right to the chase regarding you running for office. The only way I could support you running for office if you, like myself, run as a natural law Hawaiian.
Well, I'm not coming here as a candidate. I'm just coming here I just got to get more informed.
Okay, well, I'm not assuming that you are, but I know you were thinking about it,
Yeah.
and I think it's great that you want to serve. But I say this not because I don't love and respect you.
Sure.
I say this because if you don't enter into that process and self-declare yourself as a sovereign, coming into the process out of duress, you're under duress, but you're here. I used it under duress to educate people and hold people accountable to the law. And when I asked Harry Kim, maybe you were there that Harry and
Right,
Wally,
yes,
and I
yes,
said, okay, somebody had proof and evidence that the state of Hawaii is actually lawful in Hawaii, and everybody sat there and go, oh, right, we can't answer that, obviously. So that's my view about engaging in the political process, but we need all the help we can get.
Well, and I think so many people right now, they're under pressure, and they don't know they don't know where to go, and I think this is.
And they don't know what's gonna be there when they get there.
But they don't, because who are they gonna trust? Right? I mean, but they have to trust themselves.
And their relationship with
God,
the Creator.
God, right? Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes. And so I know these are the days that people have to make tough choices.
because our state is a mess. It's a mess.
Yeah, I want to find out more about this thing with Aunt because.
With Ankh and the
well,
baby?
see, I wonder how did they get out of the hospital without a birth certificate?
They have not asked him to contract for the birth certificate to apply for Social Security Administration. That has not occurred.
No, not
yet.
Social Security. I'm talking about the birth certificate.
Well, it's the same. It's the same process
The birth certificate.
when you apply.
The Social Security, most of the time, they pretty much force folks these days, from what I heard, signing the birth certificate at the hospital. Then afterwards, you go get social security number.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know if they've actually taken the baby out of the hospital yet.
That probably hasn't happened, because what it is if they don't sign it, they cannot take that child. They might can try and mess with the parents, okay? They might try and mess with Unc and Beth, but CPS, this is what I learned. CPS has to have a copy of that birth certificate
Before the
within
baby-
48 hours. Of course, they're not supposed to take the child at all. It's just completely, I'm starting to get hot. But, you know, they're only supposed to take the birth certificate itself, the piece of paper. That's all they have, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So, but when they do this kidnapping, they have to have that document within 48 hours. So that's probably why
Well, they
we need
can't-
to talk
they
to
can't-
Unc about this, because they
Well, he
might,
was supposed to show up.
they might still try and mess with Unc and Beth,
they
but
can't
they
take that.
can't take that child.
Well, they can't take that child without getting a police officer involved.
Well, a police officer was
would-
actually called.
So they would have to do, what the police officer would have to do is you would have to make a protective custody case. So like we used to have,
Okay.
so these people in Waimea, the school and CPS were always trying to force us
Yeah.
to be their agent
Oh.
to make these, we're CPS, and they would say, there's an allegation of abuse, let's say, okay?
Right.
And they'll immediately say, okay, we want you to do a protective custody. I say, no, here's a process.
Thank you.
There's due process.
Well, if they haven't contracted that child,
They have not contracted the child.
then the state better be careful, because they can sue them for everything.
Oh.
Because CPS is a quasi-government
Well,
agency
you-
anyway. They can be sued. They don't even
yeah,
they don't have to be
sure.
outside their
Oh, I've
capacity.
seen you sued. I had to go
They're
testify.
completely illegal, unlawful, everything anyway. But
Well, kidnapping is
you know,
kidnapping. Yeah. So.
but that's from what I know. That is the law, that they have to get a hold of that birth certificate or otherwise I don't know what they're
It's
gonna do with that.
it's the policy, operating under color of law.
Man, that's so scary that they're still they might still be over there. Yeah, it must have just happened. Because I
Yeah.
talked to him a couple days ago, and I was like,
Yeah, it just happened. He called me today, so we'll call him later and we'll find out. But he's going to be super grateful, because we, the people, self-identifying in our awakened state and our remembrance, come together in this very early stage in a body politic of common law sovereigns. And we're going to defend each other in lawfulness, peacefully, but it's time. And Ankh really is feeling the heat right now, obviously. So, question. What's that?
No, I think she probably did. I know she had a home birth last time. That's why I thought maybe it was like some complications or something.
Oh, maybe.
Because,
I don't think it was
You're in
intentional.
federal jurisdiction the minute you walk
Oh,
in
yeah, I
the
know.
hospital doors.
Yeah.
Well,
It could have been
under
something
duress,
emergency.
under duress, and once again, we have to interact with, the corporate agents as a point of humanity, as a point of education. We're lucky we're in Hawaii, that we don't have such mindless,
Oh yeah, midwives are illegal all over the mainland.
mindless policy.
They're illegal where I'm from.
Enforcers.
Yep.
This is good, and so that's why the FCC radio was created, so that it's a small but meaningful rebuking of false claim that the FCC has the right to permit free speech or not.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and it's meaningful, and I think we're getting a lot of positive response from those that we talk to, even though our little low power FM unit after 3 weeks of it needs some repair in TLC right now, and luckily Ryan is going to do that hopefully tomorrow. But we are on 24/7, and we have been pretty steady on the shoutcast.com.
We're not just operating without FCC licensure. Gene served the FCC, the mayor's office, and local commercial stations 21 days notice. None of them responded. And in addition to that, as a result of some of the in-depth conversations that we've had amongst the group of us who are helping with the radio project, we have decided to reach out to the artists that, whose music we intend to play, so that now all of the music that we are playing, we have obtained direct permission from the artists or their managers for.
We have
And
251
recently,
songs.
That has included some pretty big names, like Mike Love, the Steppas, and Slightly Stupid, which are all pretty big name groups in the reggae music genre.
There was another one that they got today too.
So it's
Cali
very
Buds.
exciting.
Cali Buds?
Cali Buds, yeah. Yeah, and so, it's cool because, we're going to be appealing to the youth and educating them about natural law and what the significance of FCC free is as a great opportunity for true remedy and healing, There's a church. Do you know Dan Kikawa?
Yes.
Okay, Dan Kikawa, right, has the intention to create a big hallelujah, a longhouse, but the 12 acres that he already has the plan and the programming, the protocol is all set, but now he feels he has to pay lawyers to position him as a 501c3. So I told his associate pastor, don't do that. You have title, don't do that. You have title, you're doing no harm, you're doing a service to the community. You simply serve them notice and invite them, maybe they want to help, but don't go and surrender your unalienable rights. And so, thank you, Sandy. But Reverend Dan, he needs to be brought up to speed about some things that I think those that say that they love God and they preach, honor the covenant with God, that we must apply that truth and that walk in all areas of our life. We cannot pick and choose because of fear or because of tradition or anything. We really have to hold ourselves and those that work for the corporation, accountable. And so we're coming, God's moving greatly in all of our lives right now.
There has to be a change.
What's that?
There needs to be a change.
Right. And,
And
hey,
God's,
there you are, Tom.
There's, it's sick. It's sickening. I feel so sorry for the people in Oahu. They're so oppressed. They're
Well,
so oppressed.
people don't remember who they are. They don't know that there's a difference in what body of law you're living in. And so once they get that, I think it's going to catch on naturally.
But they don't think they have any recourse. And they have, they're Americans. They live, they're Americans.
Well, we've all been dumbed down, but those days are over. And I just met Sandy today. This is Sandy Smart, and Sandy has some information that we all could benefit from in regards to creating a sovereign travel passport, international sovereign travel passport, and Sandy was also a police officer, correct?
Ventura County Sheriff's Deputy.
Ventura County. Okay. And so, you both have, law enforcement background. And it's really powerful and exciting to me that, those that have served in that capacity would come in and guide us and help us and be with this Ohana too. So thank you very much.
I'm recovering, okay? I'm a recovering cop, okay? I know the laws.
We're all recovering.
We're all recovering.
So, yeah.
I'm a recovering unbeliever.
Recovering unbelievable.
Yeah, your eyes. I'm not a dupe. They try. I have my own mind,
Yes.
and I came out of an orphanage, so I had to survive. I had to know.
Well, you came out of an orphanage, really?
So I was a ward of the state. You talk about being a piece of meat or feeling like you're a piece of meat. In the state of New Jersey, that's one of the worst.
Well,
That is like one of the worst oppressive.
well, Keokua's healing and loving hand
It's awesome.
has been, over you and in your life, I can see.
The military did me good. guys met. You know, I did 11 years in the Marine Corps and then met a Hawaiian gal.
Okay.
And when I heard about, when I learned about the kingdom and how it was overthrown, I was like, man, it's horrible.
Right.
Just the truth, yeah. And it's like, it needs to be reinstated. And be,
Well, Hawaiian Kingdom never ended. The government,
Right.
the governing
It's still there.
entity was, yeah, it's still there. So, but God's timing is perfect, so.
but the occupation, right?
124 years. Yep. Sandy, did you want to talk about how you got or how you're getting your international sovereign travel passport?
I'm just filling out a passport application, it's not a renewal, just a regular passport application.
Okay.
My birth certificate and an affidavit. An affidavit basically says I quit, I don't play, you guys do what you want, but not with me.
Okay, so you don't actually fill out the application.
No.
You got it.
Yes.
It's blank.
Yes.
And on the back side,
No.
on the front side,
You just lay it on top.
you laid on top of that your affidavit of true status.
Yes.
And now you say, here, you guys tell me what the process is so that I have, because I've separated myself from the corporation.
And about 85 pages.
What do you mean? Who's allowed?
85 pages, so you put in 85 pages, any receipt that you have. Every time I was arrested, all of those arrest form, everything is in that. I put my parents' trust in there.
And that's to identify you as
Yes,
you. Okay.
as
That
a
is-
trustee of whatever, that I'm not squandering this money. I'm not just saying, okay, fine, I'm gonna take this money and just go play. No, I have a job to do, that this was entrusted by my parents. So let me do my job. And I don't need a tax,
ID.
yes. or
Okay.
anything that has to do-
Why is it necessary if you put in right? Because I have a declaration of true status, handwritten, my thumbprint on it, and I'm basically saying, it'd be good for you to hear this, that from the beginning, as Keakoa, God is my witness, I, Gene of the family Tamashiro, embrace all gifts given by God, repent all transgressions against God, Keakoa, and waive all claims without Keakoa God, the truth. And that is the declaration of true status that Kurt Kallenbach impressed upon me. And I was under the impression that that is certainly enough to declare my true status.
They're basically saying you can write it on a piece of toilet paper with crayon.
Who's that?
Anybody who accepts it from the State Department,
Okay,
as long as it's under the application.
okay. And so did you stapled it on there?
No, you don't attach it, no.
Or you don't attach it?
No, you don't attach it.
You just put it on and
You don't sign it, you don't mark on it.
No,
because
right.
that is your,
you're showing that you're playing the
facing-
game.
Facing government property.
Okay.
So you just lay it on top and hand them the check.
Did you say on the bottom of your paper, on the bottom of your true status, your intention is to receive a international sovereign travel passport? Did you say that?
No, what I'm saying is, because it's my birth certificate is such a unique situation. I was put up for adoption at 6 weeks old. Well, while I was in the hospital, my mother was white and I came out. And so my father's name is on my birth certificate, but Maeda, do I look like a Maeda? No, I don't look like a Maeda. And so it's blank. So I don't even have a first name nor a middle name. I just have a last name. And I said, if my father is not listed on the birth certificate, I may be the child of the manor of the Lord of the manor. So they can't put any, they can't attach him. They can't, what do I call it? To where they're putting, your name is attached to your father's name, that's attached to your father's name, so that they can constantly keep collecting income. They can't do it with me because my father never showed up.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is, here's the paperwork, you figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant. I like that a lot. And so when do you find out the result of that action?
They should be back in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that's why I started, this paperwork here, I was like, well, if I take, 2 weeks,
Okay.
and then I'll show everybody the passport and everything that has to do with it.
Have you ever seen a sovereign international passport?
I've seen it international, and I've seen,
Meaning a non-US citizen?
Yes.
You have seen it?
yes.
Issued by who?
Actually, I have no idea. It's blue with international passport on the front.
Okay.
Rodney Peabosh.
Who?
Rodney Peabosh.
Okay.
He has an international passport.
And he lives here? Oh, we look forward to meeting.
So you don't specify
I'm wounded to say
the type of passport you're applying for.
that, so I don't pay taxes.
Because they have no.
You're
So would that put me in a better position
to be free.
yeah.
You're free. You just need to declare it. We are born free,
Right.
and
I'm blessed. I mean, God, that's,
yeah, we are born free. And when my mom, as everybody's mom, signed us over to apply for a birth certificate, signed us over to the Social Security Administration, they do it under duress and without full disclosure. So whatever the corporation says that, no, we got you because your mom signed you over.
because the card started, what, 1930 something? With the Social Security number. When did we start that?
I think 33,
33.
when they took the gold.
Yeah.
When Roosevelt confiscated the gold is when the Social Security Administration began.
You see, my wife was filing a joint for 3 years ago. When I was a ward of the state, my mom and dad had passed, so I was getting some social
Okay.
from him that was going into a trust for me.
Okay.
40 years later, I get a garnish, or my wife gets a garnish letter. It says your husband was overpaid $416 in 1974, 75.
And they garnish your wages.
And we're going to garnish your tax returns. How's that? They can reach all the way back into the past.
They
Their statutes don't even.
yeah, they just make it up as they go.
Amazing, yeah.
They make it up as they go because they're not a government. It's a corporation, so they create laws and call it laws, right? But you must check it out. Definition of United States Code, Article 28. So, they tell you who they are.
Just so you know, everybody that has a birth certificate is now a ward of the state until they declare their proper status.
Yeah.
So it's not just if you're adopted, because what they do is they generation skip. They only use the mother's name, so we're all born as bastards. So they've taken the marriages and split them off so they can have a generation gap, so there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. Unless you claim your proper status, you remain in the system.
Right. You have to rebuke.
So how many corporations do you have to serve?
Depends.
Like state, federal, county?
It depends on if you have a mortgage. I mean, there's a lot of
Sure.
stuff involved. And I'm in the process of really going through all that in sequence. So
Well,
I'll
see-
be able to share more later once I get
See,
it.
now this is what Sandy is saying that is useful, I think, is that the corporation has its own bylaws, policies, and protocol. All we're doing is we're declaring our true status. And we have now waived all of that. If they have processes that they want us to go through so their paperwork is all in alignment, then they need to tell us. Meanwhile, I live free. Now, when they come and push back and they say, well, you didn't do this, this, and this, they'll say, oh, is that the process? Rather than what you're doing, and I respect this, rather than looking it all up and doing all that homework and then doing it with them, you say, no, the onus is on you. You work for the corporation. I'm not a party to that. here is who I am, here is my intention, I'm doing no harm. If you have protocols that you need to satisfy, you tell me. Meanwhile, I have Hilo to plant, I have Longhouse to build, I have people to heal and educate. I'm not gonna spend my time figuring out what you need me to do. Your job is to tell me what you need. And if it's lawful, you know, if it makes sense, I'm doing no harm, I might comply, you know, but you gotta tell me. See, that's the big difference that I think Sandy's doing. She's saying, you tell me, you do it. And if you don't do it, it's on you.
Yeah, well,
But I mean, I respect
Yeah.
that, you know.
no, it's, I don't want to talk about it yet because I want to walk the process myself, get evidence, and then I'll present it.
Okay, okay.
And then, of course, you just gotta be able to back it up is the main thing.
Exactly.
You know, because
You
like
will be
somebody
careful.
I know, you know, they spent $16,000 on doing all that stuff, and one day they got arrested and they got smart with the cops or whatever, and they said, "Oh, just you gotta check out my paperwork. You can't do this to me." They just stole his paperwork. What paperwork?
Okay, they
You
just
know
did, they just did mafia on him.
If you do it properly,
That could
they
happen
take
too.
you out of the system. And
Yeah.
the thing is what's not understood or seen or realized is that the system is not what is corrupt. It's the people who are running the system that are.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're ignorant.
Yeah, and so once you get your proper status, you've got the full faith and credit of the United States Treasury behind you to protect you. So this is what's not understood yet. And when I get it and I get my proper status, then I'll be able to share it because we have to go through it step by step by step so that everyone understands it and then they can make their choice. If they want to go the other way, that's their prerogative. However, what people don't realize is that there is a Cesta KV trust that has been set up for each and every individual on this planet. And that Cesta KV trust was given in through your birth certificate. That is a wonderful thing. We haven't claimed it when we became the age of majority. That is our money.
Right.
That was given to us.
Right, like the
And so-
$10 we're still wards of the state. We're still infants.
Yeah.
And they have to handle our business because we don't know how. We were never taught. So they can steal it, our inheritance.
Yes, and as long as we allow them to steal our inheritance, we're feeding the system.
Can you-
So we have to stand up and take directive
Can you-
principle
can you
and
spell-
become the directive
What's
principle
that?
of who we
Trust
want to
she was
be and
talking
become. So,
I don't know, what is the trust you were talking about?
Sister KV,
It's CESTUI.
T-U-I.
Q, and second word I think is QUE, and then third word BI.
So C-E-S-T-U-I-Q.
UI space QUE space BI.
it's 1666.
That's when they had this thing.
Wow, that's King James Bible right around that time.
1611.
It was a wonderful thing. We just we didn't know about it. We didn't claim it, so it's there. And what they've done is they've stolen our identity, gone around the world, done visas, done all kinds of stuff, made huge amounts of money for our estate. We just claim it.
Okay,
Okay.
very good. Well, you know,
And check out Ken Doss, DOST.
yeah, when you do that, because
I
I'm
want to see the finished product.
I'm not doing that myself, but when you do that, let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, because see, there's been so many different approaches, and the problem is that people have gone to jail over these things. And one of the things that I like about Ken Doss's stuff is that he has proof of everything. And yes, it's a lot of work, but it's intended for us to awaken. If we're just given the tools and we have no understanding what's behind it, how are we going to have a strong foundation? We have none. If you don't stand as who you really are,
Sovereign.
then you are, you
The
know,
umbrella at that point.
somebody can come in and push you right over because you don't know. You know, so I understand why the system's set up the way it is. It is actually to have us all become aware of who we actually are. You know, and if you don't know who you are, you have no business doing this
It's a
stuff.
nice way to look at it. I do think on the other side, though, very, very, very sad. I had a better word in my mind. I lost it. Very uncool. I had a better word and I lost that one too. That we were lied to the whole time. So I hear what you're saying. It is lifting you up, and you're becoming a stronger woman because of this. However, these people were completely diabolical in their entire plan from the get-go. So I don't think personally that they did it to help us grow. But that is a byproduct, and it's great that you're looking at it that way. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, I think there's a lot going on. There's multi-levels of things going on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm grabbing
It's
it
like
from
the
all
difference
different
between, you know,
directions.
Because you could get on a do not detain list, like I know somebody who's on that list.
Yeah, you get diplomatic
They don't
immunity.
get detained, because
Right.
they know that if they try it, they'll get fired. So, you know, so you
One guy, yeah.
can get on that
And
status.
the Treasury goes after them. They're waiting for us to claim our proper status. The Treasury goes after these people. They've taken our names all over the world and made trusts and all kinds of things. And they've created visas all over the world. And they're wanting their share of the income tax. And they're the ones that are avoiding it. So if you claim your name, they go back. You've got a story that's written about who you are at the Treasury Department. And the Treasury isn't bad, nor is the income taxes. We're just on the wrong side of the fence.
Yep. You gotta move to the private side.
Trying to move to the private. And
Then
you
we
can work in
can,
commerce
then you
as
can
well.
use, yeah, then you can reach into commerce, do whatever you want. But you have immunity from all, you're not a US citizen. So the only way that those statutes would apply is if you're
Well, I
a US
intend to.
citizen. And this is another point that I came across this week, is that you don't wanna renounce your US citizenship. You never were a US citizen.
Not lawfully,
Right.
actually.
We're not renouncing, right?
That's a good point.
Never was. Because if you're a US citizen, then they assume that if you don't have some kind of higher office, that you're part of the militia. You're part of the reserve army. That's what a
Good.
US citizen means. You're the
Oh,
if
true.
you're either, teacher or a cop or a judge, or you might just work somewhere down the street and you're part of the militia. That's what.
That's very interesting, yes.
So that's why they say, oh, these statutes apply to you, because you're part of our military as a US citizen.
Well, okay, so if people are saying, agents of the corporation are saying, you gotta do this, you gotta pay this, you can't do that, okay? Then you say, under what law and what jurisdiction are you making these claims? Now they have to reveal, okay, well, we consider you a citizen. We consider you militia. We consider whatever you want to claim. You need to present evidence that the claim is true.
Exactly.
Otherwise, no.
Their evidence
child of
is
God.
adhesion, what they call adhesion contracts,
Well,
such as your driver's license.
Right,
this,
right,
that,
right,
and that.
right.
So, but if you have filed, especially filed, I rescind all this stuff. I'm not. This is what we're doing with, just through the Secretary of State with the passport. But you could do this with, whatever the equivalent to the Secretary of State is with Hawaii, or whatever. Kind of like how you did with the public notice, like file a public notice about yourself.
no, it's just a true declaration of
This is who I am.
status. That's all.
If anybody wants to say that I'm lying,
They can come
21
forward.
days to come forward.
That's right.
And if they don't,
It puts the onus on those that would have false claims.
right. And I've
That's
heard
all.
people
Yeah.
enforcing their right to travel that way. In some cases, like they just put a notice to the DMV, to the courthouse, wherever they think is appropriate. I'm going to be exercising my right to travel freely. I'm not going to be having a license. I'm going to be on the roads, whatever. If you have a problem with this, contact me.
Exactly, in
The
writing.
guy said, if I'm not driving professionally, I do not owe the state a driver's license.
Exactly.
That's what he said. The
It's
guy-
travel.
Because the definition of a license is to get that which is to get permission to do that which is otherwise illegal.
Yeah.
So is it illegal
To
to drive
travel?
to the grocery store or to drive your grandma to church?
Well, that's good. I don't know if I want to go
Very
to
good.
court and pull that.
That's what a license is.
Very good.
That's why we,
Oh,
as
we
sovereigns,
can't
we
win
don't,
the
we
courts.
don't get licenses.
He
We
did.
don't ask
Yeah,
for
they're all
them.
rigged.
We only
He
send
did, it's a
notice.
kangaroo court, but he won because he
Yeah,
was so
we send
insistent.
notice.
We
They
send
got
notice.
tired of
We
it.
don't fill out applications.
With 2 scoops, aloha.
Right. We don't fill out applications. We don't ask permission. We don't claim U.S. citizenship.
Is there case law among you guys?
Case law is not.
Well, that case law, but did someone demand that you show up for the penal summons in their court?
It doesn't matter to me because whatever.
No one has presented. So far, FCC agents have not come by for Aloha Nation live radio. I get letters for like you didn't register your car, you didn't have insurance. I get letters for that, and I simply write a declaration of true status regarding who I am. Now that I remember I'm awake to who I am, and I file that.
Here's me to Jason.
Jason, nice to meet you.
I file that, and I say if you have to respond or rebut any of my claims, you have 21 days to do so in writing. And here's the address. Okay, so, in that regard, it's very simple because now these guys who have policies, they're like, okay, so what do? They pick up the phone, they call lawyers, they call their boss, and then people, no matter which way you try to finagle it, if a so-called adhesion contract was done without full disclosure, it's null and void. Any contract without full disclosure is null and void. So, we're already protected unless we're doing harm.
So on that application, on that driver's license application, they didn't disclose.
They didn't disclose that it's a contract, that it's an adhesion contract, that the state now has you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, that's right. Because
A real contract has two signatures.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And the state cannot be a victim. It's not even. It's not even an individual. It's not even a lot.
Exactly.
So these are things that we're learning, and people like even yourself, law enforcement, former law enforcement, as a true human, we're learning, and I think this is important. Important dialogue. That's why we sat down with Harry Kim.
Well, there were things like back in the day where I would refuse to enforce it.
Because it was wrong.
Okay, but when God says to obey
Yeah,
the laws,
like,
he was
it was
speaking
like,
at that time.
if they say, oh, you have,
Romans, and you don't
he
go-
said,
you
let
have,
the Romans, let
quotas you
Caesar
have
what
to.
Caesar's, right? Let
Right.
them have that. That's not, you're not in
I
that.
don't care about their quota. If I
You guys
observe
can have those
Okay.
statutes
Hey,
and
that's
That's
follow
all
them.
you read, I think, but I was
endangering
Then you
lives
intervene.
of other people.
Yes.
Because that's on purpose.
And I'm not gonna say, well, you're telling me to write 13 tickets a
Doctrine
month.
coming up, oh yeah, you gotta follow the government because
Exactly.
that's the law. That's how I was raised.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh,
Right,
it was
the
the
marijuana
It
stuff.
was the government. Nothing.
What
was
hurts you
government
more?
because The rabbis.
Smoking
complained about the
Batu
money
crystal meth,
that's all over. But they
or
were
someone
making
just
a
smoking a
casino
little bit of marijuana or cannabis.
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 Rome was just
Jesus
another
went nuts.
Well, see,
Yeah,
yeah, common law is common sense. Corporate law is politics and money. So you get what you are not aware of. You get what
So,
you pay
so
for.
now it's like for me, I have these people saying, Tom, we need you to run.
Okay.
So I was like, what do I run? That's what, I'm in this country right now. I'm like,
Okay.
what am I gonna, so I'm like, wow. So yeah, so I'm praying. I got a bunch of text messages, Tom, it's 17 months till the primary, so
Well, the most important thing I think that we can do for each other is to help each other awaken to who we are
Right.
and where we
Yeah.
are. That's the most important. And as a candidate or as a public servant or as a community member, a friend, that's what we've been doing. And I've been learning a lot. We've been learning
member
a
of the
lot.
human race.
Yeah, of the family, Ohana, the human family.
So let me ask you something. When you say Keakua,
Keakua. Is that what?
well, that's a Hawaiian term for the Almighty.
It is. And
So could you use Yahweh?
yes, you could.
Okay, right.
Or God,
Or God, or I am
or the Creator,
created, right, yeah.
or you could also say universal law. If you don't feel that you want to personalize the divine, you could. It's a principle of universal law. Universal law or the truth is embodied
Natural-
in
natural
natural law. It's embodied in the presence.
So when did the corporation actually start?
What's that?
When did the corporation of
In World War II.
1933.
Oh, well, no,
No,
way
way
before,
before.
because the Mayflower,
Oh, was it? Right.
even before
Yeah,
the
right.
Mayflower,
Yeah.
the Mayflower was a corporate ship. It was, the corporations began,
Well, the Vatican was actually.
The Vatican began- yeah.
It began in that. See, now we're not only in the Holy See, we're in the Holy See of the internet now. We're all stateless. And until we come back to the land, you know, they have jurisdiction over us.
Yeah, that's why they talked about the 30 years
You gotta
ago,
give
40
up
years ago, they
your
talked
internet
about the beast.
phone.
Big
Yeah.
computer, this big computer called the beast.
yeah,
You know,
the
It's
beast.
right there, man. It's
it is.
Yeah,
the beast.
Probably would like to read Anna's books.
Yeah, and it's
Really
got some
good,
great
really
books.
good material.
yeah, Anna von
Anna
Ritz.
von Ritz, right.
Ritz.
Von Ritz.
Ritz?
Ritz, right.
A-N-N-A.
Yeah.
Anna.
And
V-O-N
Anna is very good friends with Ken Doss.
R-E-I-T-Z.
R-E-I-T-Z,
She's
yeah.
out of Alaska. She's a common law judge out of
Justice.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Common law justice,
She's
yeah.
a common law justice.
Brilliant historian and law mind.
But she's not
Really,
real informed
absolutely.
about commerce.
When you say common law judge, so does she belong to their bar?
No, absolutely not.
No, no, she's common law.
Common law.
She calls out their bar.
You know that bar's British accreditation
Right,
regency.
right, yeah.
She rebukes
All
that.
kinds
I
of
just got
stuff.
that. You said
The
you texted
Vatican
that.
Yeah.
and everything,
She
yeah.
rebukes that.
Victoria Hours.
Wait, this on camera.
Oh, look at-
All you gotta do is, this
Helps
is
by
public
filming
notice.
the different conversations we have.
Yeah, I ordered
Be
a
a walking notice.
I ordered a Zoom
Order yours today.
voice recorder, and I got a it's called a it's a recorder mic. It's really nice.
Because they're a corporation, they have every right.
Well, just like
They have a right.
the I mean, do we have, or are we protected by
No.
the the
No.
amendments?
No, you're not. Because by their own definition, it's a federal corporation, so it's pretending to be a government. It's a corporation that provides government services, but it has no obligation to the people.
Where they've empowered the police chief
Yeah.
with all of this power to say,
But I was born in the Trump was.
you can't carry a gun for self-defense, for self-preservation.
Well, you know, it's once again, it's a corporate
Yeah.
law for the corporation. So,
Corporation, right.
So if we go in there and we say you can't do this,
We get 20
they
carry a
secretly
gun.
go, we'll take that into consideration. You know.
I mean, you don't believe how many people carry, and they don't know.
Well, yeah, they know they don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a positive thing. You know, the uncertainty, the X factor prevents martial law. The X factor.
But
But
now, if you want to go along with them and go and apply for a gun permit, you have to get again. So you've already been photographed and fingerprinted before. Now, because they have this new law where they can follow up and see if you were arrested in Iowa or somewhere for a violent crime, you have to pay $42 for them to process your paperwork. And you get fingerprinted and photographed again.
yeah.
But if you're in your proper status, you don't have to meet.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah.
See you here.